Now the question is, who would you rather have in your prime? Would you take Shaquille O'Neal or would you take Kobe Bryant? Stephen A. Smith this morning said he'd roll with Kobe Bryant, and I'm telling you, you go with Shaquille O'Neal. You go with the Big Diesel all day, every day, the most dominant basketball player in NBA history. And to me, it's not even close. Shaquille O'Neal was the superior player in his prime. And you know what we do here on the Get More Sports podcast? We bring our facts to the fight, and we're going to play a little game right here. I'm going to read you some numbers. I'm not going to tell you whose they are, and you're going to tell me if you play NBA exec. You're the GM, and you tell me which player you'd roll with. Okay, so this is their 10-year peak between both players. You're the exec at home. Option number one, you got 28.8 points per game, 12.2 rebounds, 3 assists, 2.6 blocks, 0.7 steals, 2.8 turnovers per 75 possessions, and a plus 5.7 real true shooting percentage. That's really good. And then a plus 6.5 box plus minus. That's option number one. Option number two, you got 27.7 points per game, 5.8 rebounds, 5.2 assists, 0.6 blocks, 1.6 steals, 3.1 turnovers, and a 3.0 real true shooting percentage. Who you going, option one or option two? Now, who you taking, option one or option two? Option one, you can tell by the rebounds, it's clearly Shaquille O'Neal. And I know you're taking option number one. If you value your job as an NBA GM, you're taking number one in that situation. Now, those were nice numbers, but they get even better in the playoffs. So, option one for the playoffs versus option two. Option number one, 28 points per game, 13.6 rebounds, 2.8 assists, 2.3 blocks, half a steal, 2.8 turnovers per 75 possessions, and a plus 4.8 real true shooting percentage and plus 6.9 blocks plus minus for a 10.4 net rating. You don't have to be an analytics guy to know those numbers are off the chart. So that's option one. Option number two, you got 23.9 points, 5.4 rebounds, 4.7 assists, 1 block, 1.4 steals, 2.6 turnovers per 75 possessions, a plus 1.3 real true shooting percentage, a plus 4.5 box plus minus, and then a plus 9.1 net rating. So those phenomenal numbers, but who you taking? You're taking option number one. You're taking Shaquille O'Neal, who was option number one. Now, if you want to have the conversation for how much did Shaq carry Kobe, that's a completely other debate, because I think that Kobe was a major part of that run, and they couldn't have done it without him. But Shaq's peaks were just higher, especially in the NBA Finals. If you look at the 2000 NBA Finals, Shaq averaged an eye-popping 38 points per game, 16.7 rebounds, 2.7 blocks, 2.3 assists, and a steal. Only Michael Jordan and Rick Barry are other players that have averaged 38 points or more in a 6-game series. So what Shaq did in 2000 was all-time great, but Kobe definitely caught up. The very next year wasn't as valuable as Shaq was, but this whole notion that Kobe was not a major factor is an absolute myth. Kobe Bryant was a major factor in those championship runs. If you look at 2001, a team which I think is in the conversation with one of the best teams of all time, Kobe and Shaq, same amount of minutes. Their points, Kobe had one more point at 215. Shaq had 214. Kobe averaged 30.7 points in that run, and then Shaq averaged 30.6. But it was all about the Diesel. So I'll take the Diesel because just look at the words used to describe Shaq. You hear unstoppable, dominant, best player, most unstoppable player ever. Just look at some of these quotes. Here's a quote by Rick Smith. The morning after you played Shaq, it always felt like you were in a fight. You were sore from head to toe. You could barely walk. Now, was he going against Shaq or was he taking on Godzilla? Because that sounded like he was going against a monster and not Shaq Diesel. So I love me some Kobe Bryant. I'm a self-proclaimed Black Mamba stan. Look at my closet. You'll see a lot of Kobes in there. But hey, Kobe, tell me how my facts taste, because that's the reality. I'm going with Shaquille O'Neal versus Kobe Bryant in their prime.